Right, good evening jukebox fans. We're into part 8 now. I was hoping we'd have it, hello Bugsy, I thought we'd have it up and running by now, but apparently not according to last night's. Had a look at the board here, and if you look up there close, you can see that 2-watt resistor didn't survive very long. It was only on for a matter of seconds and it started smoking. Now, having had a look at the circuit diagram, I've got a copy of it here. Yeah, the resistor in question is a little 100 ohm jobby there, and it sits between two transistors which are Q4 and Q6. Looking to me, if one of those was to short, that would explain a huge amount of current going through that resistor. And if we look at the board, I think it's either that green one there or that little one down there, and I've got a horrible feeling it is the little one down there. And that would be sod's law, because I've had a look online for the number and it's some weird obscure number I've never seen before. There's a couple of people that sell them, but they want about $20 for them each over in the States, plus shipping and import duties, so I'm hoping I can find a suitable equivalent if it turns out that it's that that's gone. If it's one of these that's gone, that's no problem. You can just use a TIP 41, one of those variants, as they did on the other board. But I'll get these transistors off, we'll put them on the tester, and we'll see where we're at. Right, so that's the transistor off. Right, it's not that one. Bugger. Right, well, it's been probably getting on for a couple of weeks now since that amplifier first went up in smoke, and about a week or so since the last bit of video. Since then, obviously I've had a very good look at these driver boards. We've had all the transistors off them, I've checked all the components on here, I've even checked the values on the components inside these little PEC things, clutching at straws really, but everything on here appears to be working. I can't see anything wrong with what I've done with the soldering. It's not something daft like I put a capacitor in backwards or something like that. But the only thing that has been damaged obviously is that resistor, and also the two main output transistors, the 2 and 3055s on the main heatsink, and they're both smoked as well. They seem to have got shorted. So why the two transistors were shorted, I don't know. As far as I can see, there's only two things that could have happened. Either I've replaced them with crappy fake transistors, which seems increasingly likely, because looking around, it's apparently the fake transistors are everywhere. I mean, they're checked out on the meter, but who knows how good they really are. The other option is that when I reconnected all this, I didn't turn the voltage and the current drive down to the minimum and work it up. I left it where it was. Now, I didn't think that a little bit too much bias current was going to do so much damage so quickly. I thought I'd get away with that, but maybe that was my mistake and I should have wound everything down to 0 and brought it up slowly. But I wish I knew for certain what caused it to smoke, because so far I've been looking through everything, can't find a damn thing wrong with any of it. So what I'm going to do, we have our amplifier board here. So I've left in, this side here is the one that didn't catch fire. As far as we know, it probably works. So I've left the other one disconnected, and it's all heatsinks unplugged as well. So we've got the power regulation side and the power amplifier side, that's all complete. We're just missing everything to do with the channel that went up in smoke. So I want to power this up with this one connected. I've turned the voltage and the current drive down. So we'll get a milliamp meter on it as we power it up. We'll get the voltmeter on and see if that will actually yield some results. But it's been a couple of weeks and I haven't dared plug the damn thing in, but I'm going to have to man up and give it a go, I think. Okay, well the jukebox is all wired up now. We've got the amplifier in, as you can see. We're reading milliamps on this one here, we're reading volts on that one there. This one's connected across the power to the driver board by the look of it on the circuit design. I'm only expecting that to jump up a tiny fraction. In fact, it probably won't jump up at all until I've made some adjustments. This one is either reading the 64 volt line or the 32, 33 volt line, depending on whether I put the meter there or there. But I just thought I'd get it all connected up ready, just so I can see if this thing starts shooting over the moment I put the power on, because if it does, that tells me something's horribly wrong. So, we're going to put the plug in. Now, death or glory time. Let's see what we get. Okay, I'm reading 61 volts, no milliamps. We've got no nasty humming noises. We've got no funny smells yet. Okay. So far so good. Okay, I'm happy with that. I can hear a very slight hissy humming noise from the speaker, which is to be expected. So that's reading 61 volts. So this point over here should be about half that. And we've got 26, so that tells me that the voltage needs to come up. So let's get the prong on there. And we're on 27, 28, 29, 30, 30 and a half, oh, 31.4, knock it back a fraction, 31.1, so 31.1 versus 62.4, that's near as damn it in the middle. Okay, so we're happy with that. If we need to fine tune that later we can. What we do need now is some current drive. Let's just get a finger on the that troublesome resistor that as was on the other board. Nothing getting hot there. I'm on the 250 milliamp range at the moment, so I'll stick it on the 25. In theory, when I start turning that little yellow knob, you'll see this needle come up. And I need to get that to 15 to 25 milliamps. Well, it's there on the side of caution, well, let's say between 15 and 20. So that needs to get about there, about 3/4 of the way across. Will anything happen when I turn this up? Nothing. Nothing happening at all. Should be seeing that jump and we're not. So something's still not right with this. Okay, so now we know that the right channel you can power it up and it doesn't go up in smoke and it sort of makes noise, but we still don't know why we're not getting any biasing going on. So I've pulled that sort of working board out of the amplifier. Going to take a closer look at, again, all these other components, these transistors and all the rest of it. I've never actually had these transistors off the board, so it might be worth having a look and just check they're doing what they should be. I'd like to at least get one side of this thing working, at least it gives it something to work with to find the fault on the other one. So let's see if we can get the biasing going on this. That checks out. Right, that's the other one, the NPN version. Reading on the VF's much the same, but the HFE seems very low at 19 compared to the other one. I don't know if that's significant or not. Okay, so fast forwarding to what is now the following night, and some progress made. As you saw, I had the board out and decided to check all 4 transistors, unsoldered them all, put them all on the tester, and again, couldn't find anything wrong with them. All 4 transistors working as they should, and couldn't find anything else wrong with them either. But it was in the testing process that I discovered that I've blown the fuse in my multimeter, in particular the fuse on the milliamp meter side of it. I didn't spot this when it happened, but looking back at the video, you can see that when you actually plug the jukebox in, it just flashed backwards for half a second and then went dead. I missed that because I was looking down as I was putting the plug in. So it was obviously passing way too much current, so something had obviously shorted. and when I took the heatsink off the amp and had a look at transistors, lo and behold, it smoked another 2N3055, gone short circuit. So obviously that shorting transistor is the reason why the meter blew up. But it does mean that I was right in thinking that I can't find anything wrong with these driver boards. You know, everything checks out as it should, and I think the problem is not the driver board at all. All along, the problem has been on the heatsink, I'm sure of it now. And the reason is entirely my cock-up. When I put those transistors in the other week, I used a heatsink compound, which was this stuff. Now that's good for using on computer CPUs, things like that, but what I didn't realise is it does actually contain trace amounts of silver, which of course has the potential to be a bit conductive. Now I've tried putting on an ohm meter and it doesn't register anything at all, but could well be performing very different when you put 65 volts up it. So I think this stuff has been conducting and shorting the transistors out against the heatsink. So I've got some of this stuff, which is the standard sort of white silicon paste. That's what you normally use for transistors, and to be fair, it's what I normally use. It's just I happen to have that other pot knocking about at the time. So I've had the transistors off the heatsink, I've cleaned it all up, I've applied some of this stuff. We now have 2 working transistors on this heatsink and it's ready to go. So once again, it's kill or cure time. We'll plug it in and see what happens, and hopefully this will work. Okay, so once again, we've got it hooked up. I've got my digital voltmeter just out of shot there on the left. More importantly, we've got our milliamps reading there. That's on the 250 milliamp range, so it should just only come up a notch. But however, if the thing just goes full over and back down again, we can safely assume it's blown the meter again. But I'm hoping we're onto something now that I've changed the thermal compound. But of course, there's only one way to find out. It says grabbing the plug, and this time I'll be watching the jukebox instead of the plug going into the socket. Will we get smoke or will we get success? One way to find out. We got smoke. Well, I don't think we got smoke, but it popped the meter anyway. That went straight over. Bugger. Well, that was disappointing to say the least. I was really hoping we cracked it that time, but apparently not. I've had it apart, and sure enough, it smoked both the 2N3055s again. So that's a packet of 5 2N3055s that I bought, and it's blown all 5 of them. So unless I've been extremely unlucky and bought some really bad transistors, i.e. fakes, which they probably are to be fair, but I don't really see even fake ones shouldn't have blown that quickly. But this really is the last chance saloon now, because I've put the original transistors back in, and if it smokes those, then I think this amplifier's in the bin and I'm going to have to build a new amp for it. So got nothing to lose now. Let's just plug it in and see what happens. Alright, here we go again. Voltmeter on standby, milliamp meter connected, all wired in there. Fuck it, let's see what it does. Plug going in now. Yep, and it went hard over. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You see before you a broken man. I've been trying on this amplifier for the best part of a couple of weeks now. I've replaced various capacitors, resistors, transistors. It's been fully vented up. I've been all through it, backwards and forwards. Can't find a damn thing wrong with it. My living room is a complete mess of bits of circuit diagram and bits of amplifier and discarded components. I've spent far too much time and money on this thing. Bottom line is, it's broken and I can't fix it. So it's in the bin. Well, I say it's in the bin. What I'm planning on doing is we'll remove the heat sinks, we'll take the driver boards out. That leaves a nice big empty space here where it's going to have a Class D amplifier unit. I need to source some sort of power supply to drive it because 65 volts is way too high for that. But it does mean that I can still keep it in the same box and make use of this, which has got a fully working preamp, tone control, volume limiter, all the standard jukeboxy bits that I want. So if I can build a new amplifier into this box, reusing all this stuff, at least it will be sort of semi-original. It's the best I can do, I think. So next video, I'll make a start on that. So till next time, guys, good night.